Go ahead, Spencer.
Okay, so Acorns. The Acorn is a field programmable array. Or no, it is an FPGA, but basically it's a hardware accelerator. So what it does is...
It's a micro FPGA.
Yeah, it's a micro FPGA, and what it's designed for is to work with other GPUs to give you boost in hash rate for minimal power increases.
Now, it does this from base, because Spencer's a little more technical about this on the subject right now. He's gotten farther through the work, the textbook, sorry. But from my understanding, it takes some of the work that the GPUs aren't very efficient at, and it offloads that part of the mining calculations, that process, to the Acorn through a high-speed bus, through a hardware-specific setup that's good for those algorithms, or those calculations, essentially, and then spits it back to the video card, freeing up that memory cores, the CUDA cores, and those other components on the video card to do other processes.
Yeah.
So that increases, the reason you're increasing your hashes is because you're freeing up hardware on the GPU to continue to hash, essentially.
And you're also reducing power draw because you're doing it in a more efficient manner.
In a more efficient manner. And that's because the Acorn is hardware specific.
Yeah.
So the laneways, the architecture is specifically designed to attack these certain algorithms.
And you have to use the Squirrel miner to mine on it.
Of course, I imagine open source software will be dissected very soon.
And
like
he
it
also
always is.
said that there's going to be a package that he releases so that other developers can integrate it into their miners.
Oh, into the mining hubs and into nice hashes and into CC Miner and HiveOS. Oh, into Claymore. Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I like Claymore. We like Claymore. Yeah, so explain the Acorns to me. Your understanding of their design, hardware, application, and results we're hoping to see from them, and then briefly just go over the several different versions that are coming to the market.
Yeah, so basically what we're looking at is there's 3 different models. So there's the 115, a 215, 215 plus.
A 101.
The 101 and the 215 and the
215 plus. Right.
And basically the higher end ones just do more algorithms, and they're better. If all you care about is Kryptonite and Fhash, then you can get away with getting just the 101.
Right. Now, when you say they're more capable of doing other algorithms like Lyra and such, it's because it has more memory on board, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's containing more RAM? Okay.
I believe so.
More RAM chips, DDR5, are you using DDR5 or DDR6?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, and now what's the difference between the 12, the 215, and the 215 plus?
I think it's just larger memory.
Oh, very cool. So that'll allow you to do more offloading work. Yeah. Now it's actually looking like it will increase your hashes on the cards as well as lower your cost of production.
Yeah.
So that's a net gain across the board.
Yeah.
Now, what's the ROI look like based on our equipment? What are you assuming if we were to add two of them to one of our 12 cards? How soon till we can see that return?
I'm not sure. We don't even realize yet if it's going to be more profitable, if it's possible to run it on the 1x slots, because you get the most benefit. Basically, one of the things about them is they're high bandwidth.
So they need a lot of lanes.
They need a lot of lanes.
And so a lot of the issues is people are not going to have the M.2 slots.
And I think you can't even use the hard drive M2 slot. It has to be a
PCI M2 slot.
Because there's different types of M2 slots.
Right. And then a lot of times if you're using all the SATA plugs, or if you're using all the PCI Express or the PCI 16 slots, it'll actually turn off the M.2 because they're sharing the same bus.
Yeah.
So they've come out with a solution for this. The solution is called
the Nest cards.
And at first they just had a 4 USB hub, but now they've got the 4 USB hub with 2 M.2 slots on board to hold the Acorns.
Yeah. And
the thought would be that you can run 4 GPUs with 2 Acorns off of one PCI 16 bus. Now that's pretty cool. That's going to take a lot of these older hardware, as long as you're using Gen 3 or 3rd generation i7.
Oh, i7s. Yeah. And the Ryzens are supposed to be really good.
And the new Ryzens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the older Gen 1 and Gen 2 ice, Sandy Bridges and Ivy Lakes, those aren't going to have the buses necessary for it. But if you have 3rd generation through the 7th generation, that means you should be able to plug one of these Nest into just about any motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
And get 4 cards with 2 Acorns running optimally right there.
Yeah.
Now, it's difficult because we have a whack ton of... We have hundreds of GPUs around. So if we wanted to do that, we would have to change our boards.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have to... Because we run the PCI times by ones. The PCI 4 slots. Or, the by ones. On most of our boards, we run those through the PCIe Express risers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're running a lot of 1070 Ti's. Now, it still did show optimization for the 1070 Ti. We were surprised by that because they were pretty efficient cards out the gate. But it looks like on the 1080s and the 1060s and some of the other cards, it's going to do a much larger increase in efficiency.
Yeah.
Much like the ETH-Pill did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works in similar ways to the ETH-Pill.
Well, that's also because they're drawing more power in the first place.
Right. Cool. Now, what else should we know about the price points? What should we know about the availability? And is this a trusted source? Is these Acorns something that we are advising people to get into?
Oh, we've got 2 of the 215 pluses on the way. Probably going to put an order in for one of the Nest cards.
Yep.
And it's looking pretty good. It started by GPU Hoarder on the Discord FPGA. And Squirrel Systems, who is selling them, is one of the people that have started this whole FPGA movement.
Yeah. And then Ogata Girl got on board.
Yeah.
And she branched out with Minority. Mm-hmm. And then they all came back together in about 2 weeks. She was doing her own thing, and then they realized that they were much better to be working together instead of apart. So instead of it being 3 different distributors of these cards, they're all kind of, when one of the distributors sold out, they started listing Minorities cards that were for sale, and it's become a really healthy climate.
Yeah.
It looks like the 3 largest groups with the motivation to work towards cryptography mining and blockchain usage with FPGAs, it looks like they're all on the same team now. Same team, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's the buzzer. It means the police have breached our compound. So we need to go arm ourselves and lock all the security doors down, and we need to wipe the servers. So I'm going to go do that, and hopefully they don't have a warrant. Bye, guys. Crypto King's out.